journey and purpose.
Asking one question: what can I become? A few grow up asking something deeper: what can I build? What can I give back? For Aisshwarya Hegde, that answer came early. She believes firmly and deeply that education is the most powerful investment a nation can make.
Education is taking ownership of our learning. It's not being forced to learn, it's not being equipped to learn, but it's genuinely taking ownership of every responsibility we hold and every learning that we process.
And that belief became a conscious choice. One she acted on at just 21 when she stepped into her educational leadership. What began early was not easy, but it was intentional and rooted in purpose. Today, Aisshwarya leads and empowers over 10,000 students across institutions that shape diverse learning journeys. National Hillview Public School, Apollo National Public School, Amber Valley Residential School, Global Academy of Technology, and Global College of Nursing. Across all these institutions, her vision remains clear: to move education beyond rote learning, beyond memorizing for marks, and towards thinking independently, learning responsibly, and leading with empathy and confidence. Her commitment to education extends far beyond classrooms and campuses. Through her CSR initiative, We Care, We Share, Aisshwarya has empowered more than 5,000 government school children with one unwavering mission: to provide access, exposure, and opportunity, irrespective of background or circumstances. As a young entrepreneur, she has also co-founded initiatives that respond to real needs in today's learning ecosystem. Penumbra, where children explore concepts through light and shadow. Blue Whistle, making social science meaningful and simpler. Buddy Bench Conversations, unleashing the power of questioning fearlessly. Catalyst Lab, India's first value education lab in schools, nurturing ethics, empathy, and character. Through these platforms, or through her work as a speaker and mentor, Aisshwarya has impacted over 5 lakh students, inspiring them to believe in themselves, take responsibility, and grow into purposeful leaders. Aisshwarya Hegde represents a new generation of education leaders, young in age, strong in conviction, and steadfast in purpose. Please join us in welcoming Aisshwarya Hegde.
ಸೇತುರಾಮ್ ಸರ್ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಮಾತಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಭಯ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಬಟ್ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಅ ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಎವ್ರಿ ಒನ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಐ ವುಡ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಟು ಟೇಕ್ ದಿ ಆಪರ್ಚುನಿಟಿ ಟು ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಪ್ರಹ್ಲಾದ್ ಸರ್. ನಾನು ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಮೀಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ಪ್ರಹ್ಲಾದ್ ಸರ್ 6 ತಿಂಗಳು ಮುಂಚೆನೇ ಹಿ ಬುಕ್ಡ್ ಮೀ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸೆಡ್ ಐಶ್ವರ್ಯ ನೀವು ಬರಲೇಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಹೀಸ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಅ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಟು ಮೇಕ್ ಶ್ಯೂರ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ನನ್ನ ತುಂಬ ಜನ ವಿಡಿಯೋಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಾಗ್ರಾಮಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ಸೊ ಇವತ್ತು ಜಡ್ಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಸೇತುರಾಮ್ ಸರ್ ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಹಾಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾಳೋ ಇಲ್ವೋ ಅಂತ? ಇಲ್ವಾ? ನನಗೆ ಆಡಿಯನ್ಸ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಭಯ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಆಡಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಡಬಲ್ ಮೈ ಏಜ್ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಜನ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ it's not even a part of what I have experienced in the last years, but it's been a 9-year-long journey in education, and ನಾನು ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಹೇಳ್ತಿರ್ತೀನಿ saying that ನಂಗೆ ಎಜುಕೇಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಇರ್ತೀನಿ, or I'm always in education because it keeps a child in me alive. So keeping that child in myself alive today, I'm here to speak to all of you, and the topic given to me is to educate, empower, and elevate ourselves as we build the 21st generation of our country. And ನಂಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ನನಗೆ ಇನ್ಸಿಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಸೇಯಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ವುಮೆನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ನಂಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಏನು ವುಮೆನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡಬೇಕು, ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮೆನ್ಗಳೇ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಬೈಕೊಂಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಭಯ ನನಗೆ. ಬಟ್ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಐ ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ಪುಟ್ ಮೈ ಪರ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್. I'm really quite confused what should I speak today till I came up on stage and saw an audience like this. I was wondering, how can I probably make you, by the end of this conversation, ask good questions? Why am I saying this to you? Education for a lot of us was all about survival for most of our lives, right? You survived because you got educated, you got a qualification, you survived with a job with that education. I think today education has become a helm of significance more than survival. It's a significance factor in ourselves today. The before speaker was talking a lot about our country, our samskriti, the resourceful country we are, right? And today I'm very proud, and I stand here representing the youth of my nation, and I feel we are going to be a bigger country tomorrow because we are a young country. I don't know how many of you know this, but the fact that USA grew one day is because they were young. The fact that China grew one day was because they were young. And the fact that Japan grew one day was they were young. And today, the youngest country in the world is our country. So we have no choice but to grow. But how will we grow? Will we grow by accident? Will we grow by design? Will we grow by intent is the question in front of us. And I think today we're also living in the world of ChatGPT and AI, where we don't know what's in front of us. How do we lead the nation forward? And everything has become technological transactions in life. But you know, I'm very proud that I am in this era, especially in a wonderful field like education, because education today has not been about answering all the questions, but it's about asking the right questions. ನೀವು ಯಾವ ಥರ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಕೇಳ್ತೀರಾ ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಉತ್ತರ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇವತ್ತು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಕೇಳೋಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಉತ್ತರ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. That's the phase of education we are in. And ನಾನು ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀನಿ, education is not about just merely accepting knowledge. It's about having a clarity of thought. It's about having a confidence in your voice, and it's probably having the courage to bring about a change. Do we have the clarity of thought? Do we have the courage to bring the change? And do we actually bring in that resilience in ourselves is the question, and that's when we determine whether we are educated or not. And ನನ್ನ ಮಕ್ಳಿಗೂ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಹೇಳ್ತಿರ್ತೀನಿ that education is taking ownership of our learning. ಇವತ್ತು ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡು today you're listening to a lot of speakers. ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಒಬ್ಬರು ಸ್ಪೀಕರ್ ಮುಗ್ದಿದೆ ನಾನು. Do you have the ownership to take what I'm speaking to your lives is education. If you can listen in one year and leave out in the other year and leave the job today, where is the education? And even if you have spent so many hours, is the question in front of us. And ಈ ಎಜುಕೇಷನಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ಡ್ or what has stayed back? ನಾವು ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಿರ್ತೀವಿ, ಬಟ್ do we always talk about change, alva? What has changed today? Can we do the program better and stuff like that? Have you ever asked what has not changed? ನಾನು ಇವತ್ತು ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ what has not changed in education in your life? Can you answer to me? Probably acquiring some kind of information has not changed. Whether we were studying from textbooks or we are studying from computers today. Developing a skill to either read that change or to deliver that change has not changed, right? Today the skill is either using the computer or it was writing few days ago. And what has not changed is probably our value system. And sir was talking, Munche speaker was talking about what has not changed in our country. Today, I don't know how many parents are there, young parents? Yeah, not many young parents. Okay, a lot of young parents. Even today in schools you go back and have discipline problems. Yes, I ran 4 schools, I know we have a lot of discipline problems. But has school changed? No. Schools have been the same PT master, same entrance to outside, same outside. Discipline cannot change in school. What has changed is actually our value systems in our houses, which is why we have to do value driven classes in classrooms today. Think about it. ನಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾರು ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ, ನಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾರು ಓಕೆ ಒಂದು ಗೆಸ್ಟ್ ಬಂದರೆ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. Wasn't it a part of our lifestyle? Whether a guest walking into our system to walking out, we had to behave a certain way, we had to get up and say hello to them, we had to sit down. But today, we have to teach that to our children. Actually, why value system and discipline has changed the schools, because we lack grandparents at home. When we had our grandparents, they used to sit down and say, this is how you have to do the job, this is what the history is, and equipped us with our value system. The fact that we don't have people around us, and what's missing in our system is conversations with people, has resulted today's value system. Think about it. Maybe you'll all feel, yes, it's so true, because today, even to reply back to my parent or your kids reply back to you, they send a message. I have cases where even if a child is feeling bad or good, instead of telling the class teacher in the class, they go back home and email it. Right? So the problems of mental wellness has come in today in school systems, in students, in young youth today, because we lack the clarity of conversation. That's why I started by saying education is actually clarity of thought. It is the courage to bring about a change, and it is the confidence in your voice. And what is confidence? Often people ask me, Aisshwarya, ನೀನು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀಯ ಅಂತ. Confidence for me is genuinely clarity of thought. And it is to have the fear of not being judged. ನಾನಿವತ್ತು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಈ ಮೈಕ್ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇವತ್ತು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂತಂದರೆ, ನನಗೆ ಭಯ ಇಲ್ಲ ನೀವೇನು ಅನ್ಕೊತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಐಶ್ವರ್ಯಂಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಬರುತ್ತೋ ಇಲ್ವೋ ಅಂತ. ನಾನಿರೋದು ನಂಗೆ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿರೋ ಅವಕಾಶನ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಒಂದು ಇಂಪ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗೋಕ್ಕೆ. ನಾನು ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನೀವೇನು ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂತ, ನಾನಿವತ್ತು ಈ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆನ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗುತ್ತಾ ಅನ್ನೋ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆನ ನನಗೆ ನಾನೇ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊತಿರ್ತೀನಿ. ಹೌದೋ ಇಲ್ವೋ? A lot of people lack not clarity of thought, but lack the fear of being judged, which is why they cannot hold a mic like this and start talking. So if you can, I think ಸರು ಅದೇ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರು ಏನು ಅನ್ಕೊತಾರೆ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಡಿ, ನಿಮಗೆ ನೀವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ is very important ಅಂತ. And to do this, what are the skills that's required is the next question. I spoke about knowledge, I spoke about values, skills ಅಲ್ಲ. Every successful person, according to me, in the last 9 years that I've seen is all about 3 skills ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. The first is people management skills. ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಜನ ರೊಟೇರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ, ನೀವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ಸಸ್ ರನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ, ಅವ್ರ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್ ರನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ, ಅವ್ರ ಒಂದು ಕೆಲಸಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಾ. Do you ever have business problems? You always have people problems. ಐಡಿಯಾ ಇದೆ, ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಾ, ಬಟ್ ಹೌ ಡು ವಿ ಬ್ರಿಂಗ್ ದ ರೈಟ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಇನ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಟು ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್? ಡು ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್? ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಹೂ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್. So people management skill is probably one of the most important skill, and no AI is going to remove this skill out of each one of us. ನಾವು ಜನನ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ಜನನ ಬೆಳೆಸಬೇಕು, ಜನದ ಜೊತೆ ಮಾತಾಡಬೇಕು, ಜನದ ಜೊತೆ ಬೆರಿಬೇಕು. That is the most important skill as we build the 21st century India ಅಂತ ನಂಗೆ ಅನಿಸುತ್ತೆ. The second important skill, perseverance skill. Perseverance ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು ಐಶ್ವರ್ಯ ಅಂತ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ನೀವು ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು. Basic common thing, influence, negotiate, sell, create. ನಾನಿವತ್ತು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರಿ ಅಂದರೆ ನನಗೆ ಪರ್ಸಿವರೆನ್ಸ್ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಒಂದು 4 ಜನನ ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೂಯೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಥರ. ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದರೆ ನೀವು ಯಾರೂ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಲ್ಲ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ವರ್ಕಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ಆಪರ್ಚುನಿಟಿ ಇದೆ, ನೀವೊಂದು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ನ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಂದರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಟಾಫ್ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ನೀವು ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೂಯೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಮೋಟಿವೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಟು ರನ್ ಅ certain situation. So that perseverance skill is very important. Second, negotiation. Even if we are getting married to 2 people, we are negotiating a lot of things between us to make sure we run a successful marriage, right? Even as a family, when you are talking to your child and saying, ನಾನು ಇವತ್ತು ನಿನ್ನ ಮೂವಿ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ, ಮೆಕ್ಡೊನಾಲ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡಿಸ್ತೀನಿ, ನೀ ಹೋಮ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಡಪ್ಪ, it's a lot about negotiations. Even if a politician needs a certain vote system, he has to come down, influence the people, negotiate with the people with the 5 guarantees that we are doing today, and then bring about a change. Am I right? So what you need in life is a lot of perseverance. Either you're selling things to someone, or you're influencing someone, or you're negotiating so that both of you have a great transaction. The final and the most important skill is prioritization skill. ಇವತ್ತು ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಆ್ಯಪ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಇನ್ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ದ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಸೇಸ್ ChatGPT is used to prioritize work more than anything else today. ಸೊ ನಮಗೆ ನಾವೇನು ಯಾವಾಗ ವಿ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ or we create stress is when we don't know when to prioritize things. What is stress? Stress is when you have so much confusion in your mind and you don't know what you're doing. But if you can create a priority with what is important to you first and what is not important to you later, don't you think the stress vanishes away? Yes, no? You have to be, see, ನಾನು ಒಂಥರ ಟೀಚರು. ನೀವು ನನ್ನ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ರೆಸ್ಪಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ನಂಗೆ ಬೇಜಾರಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಂಗೆ ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಪಾಠ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಯೋರ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಮೈ ಫ್ಯೂಯಲ್ ಟು ಟಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಟುಡೇ. ಇಸ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಕೂಲ್? ಎಸ್. ಸೊ ಫೈನಲಿ ಐ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಯು ಸೇಯಿಂಗ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ we spoke about people skills. Second, we spoke about perseverance skills. And third, I said prioritization skill. Today, ನೀವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ಕೂತಿದ್ದೀರಾ because it's priority for you this event over a Saturday. and sit down here and listen. It's a community. So it's your priority that manages. So in life, in this world of technology and transaction, if 3 skills are going to take us very far in life, it's probably these 3 skills. My topic was actually building 21st century women. And I see a lot of powerful women today here, sitting down here. And I started by saying it's also about education, empowerment, and elevation. Today, women need not be educated. We're all very educated. And I keep saying this, ನಾವು ಇವಾಗ ಎಂತಕ್ಕೆ ಈಚೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಅವತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಅಮ್ಮಂಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಜ್ಜಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಮನೇಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಇರ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಸ್ವಿಗ್ಗಿ ಝೊಮ್ಯಾಟೊ ಇರ್ತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ, ವಾಷಿಂಗ್ ಮಿಷಿನ್ ಇರ್ತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅವ್ರಿಗಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರ್ತಿತ್ತು ಟು ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ ಅ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್. ಬಟ್ ಟುಡೇ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಮೂವ್ಡ್ ಸೋ ಫಾರ್ವರ್ಡ್ ದಟ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಕಮ್ ಔಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಬಿ better to the society. That's why we're talking about women today. Okay, let me clear this right. It's not that avat aur kelsa ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಇವತ್ತು ಅವ್ರು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. Women have been working throughout. It's just that the work has not been characterized or called in a certain way. ನಾನು ರೀಸೆಂಟ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಪ್ಯಾನಲ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೆ. ಆ ಪ್ಯಾನಲಲ್ಲಿ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು why women are missing from the innovation culture. When I was sitting in the panel and thinking about it, I understood that women have never been missing out of the innovation culture. What women did was never considered as innovation. Right? Think about it. Innovation andre ಏನು? ಒಂದಿರೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ನ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟಾಗಿ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿ 10 ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಉಪಯೋಗ ಆಗೋದು innovation. Am I right? In basic sense, today it's fantasized and said innovation is about research, patents, startups. But no, innovation is actually solving a problem, not just for yourself, but for 10 people around you, right? We've always solved it. Whether it's today, innovation has been about how do you create a sweat-proof dress and put it out in the market. But wasn't draping a 5-yard sari and making sure no wastage happened innovation? That's the innovation we started with as women, I think. So women were never missing the innovation journey. They started the innovation journey, is what I like to believe and say. And I think that's why it's so important. Second, we speak about empowerment of women. ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ನಾನು ಹೋದಾಗ women empowerment ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡಿ ಐಶ್ವರ್ಯ ಅಂತ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. And we often misunderstand empowerment to be charity. Let me tell you, empowerment is not charity. Empowerment is giving confidence to someone to build themselves. And that's what we require as women empowerment. When you call me as a woman leader, I feel bad. I'm a leader, whether it's a man or a woman. And that's what I want you to understand. So when it's not about charity, when do you empower a woman? When she can probably take a decision only for herself, but not thinking about her family. But is that possible? I want the woman in the room to think about it. Even if I come here today morning, I have to think, okay, is my husband free at home and not doing anything that I can come out today? Have I informed my mother? Is my mother-in-law being informed? These are the first thoughts that comes to me as a woman, even though I'm thinking about myself and thinking about my progress. That is an inherent nature of how we do. But the day when we can make choices and when we can take decisions without thinking about someone else, and that's how much support we have, I think that day is women empowerment. And I think in the room today, we have to start giving that process. And finally, elevate, we speak about, Allah. I want to say that navelleru brotherhood ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. But do we talk about sisterhood? I'll give you a simple example. ನಾನು ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಆಫೀಸಲ್ಲಿ a lot of my employees are women because they're teachers, and teachers choose a profession of women most of the time. When I have a meeting and suddenly I probably say something wrong to a man, 2 men go out and said, bidu, ಅವಳು ಬ್ಯಾಡ್ ಮೂಡಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ಲು, ಏನೋ ಬೈಕೊಂಡ್ಲು, ತಲೆ ಕೆಡ್ಸ್ಕೊಂಬೇಡ, ಬಾ ಮಚ್ಚ ಹೋಗೋಣ ಅಂತ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. Ade, if I scold another woman in the room, the other woman is watching, the same thing goes to the toilet. Oh, why did you not do well? It is an opportunity so that we don't take. In the history of Indian mythology, if a woman has been brought down, it's by another woman. So no man can bring us down. It's another woman that can bring us down. So let's make sure we elevate and bring that sisterhood tomorrow. I have never heard the problem where the husband is the problem or the father is this problem. It's always us, mother-in-law, and the daughter-in-law fighting, which creates most of our problem. Men are laughing, but it's the truth of our matter. So I believe no man can put us down. If someone can, it's a powerful woman who can put us down. But today, if you want to create women empowerment and build a nation that's stronger, I think we should start the world of sisterhood. If you can today walk out of this room and promise me to every woman sitting down here, ivattu ನಾನು ಹೋಗೋಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಇಬ್ಬರು ವುಮೆನ್ನ ನೀವು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ, ನೀವು ಇವತ್ತು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿಲ್ಡ್ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದೆಮ್. ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಮೀ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಹೌ ಐ ಫೀಲ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಮೈ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ ನೀವು ಮಾತು ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಅನಿಸ್ತು ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಅಂದಾಗ ನನಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಬೇರೆಯವರು ನಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಎವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಆ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ನ ನಾವು ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬರು ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಳಿಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ರೇ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ದ ಸಿಸ್ಟರ್ಹುಡ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ಸ್ ಹೌ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಅ ಬೆಟರ್ ನೇಷನ್. ಸೊ ಟುಡೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯು ಆಲ್ ಪ್ರಾಮಿಸ್ ಮೀ ದಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಯು ಫಿನಿಶ್ ಯುವರ್ ಡೇ, ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಗಿವ್ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಟು ಅನದರ್ ವುಮನ್ who's looking good. You will give compliment to another woman who's managing a family better. You will give compliment to another woman who's left her kids at home and still come here to present so that she wants to develop herself. And that's how the nation will grow, is what I like to believe. With this, ನನ್ನ ತಂದೆ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಒಂದು ಮಾತು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ದೇವರು ವರನೂ ಕೊಡಲ್ವಂತೆ ಶಾಪನೂ ಕೊಡಲ್ವಂತೆ, ಅವಕಾಶ ಮಾತ್ರ ಕೊಡ್ತಾನಂತೆ. ಸೊ ಇವತ್ತು ನಂಗೆ ಒಂದು ಅವಕಾಶ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿತ್ತು ಟು ಮೀಟ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಹೂ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ನೆವರ್ ಮೆಟ್ before and actually say a few things. And ನಾನು ಏನೇ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, I've kept the child in me alive to say what I have said. And let's believe that our country is growing and the youth will grow the country forward. I am here not because I am a youth, because I have no choice. If we don't do the job that we are doing and hold the mics like we are holding, I don't think our country is going to proceed. And the fact that in this country today, it's not about answering everything, it's about asking the right questions. Let's ask the right questions to ourselves, to our families, to our people, and that's how we will create educated, empowered, and elevated women for a better tomorrow. And what I want you to tell you is elevation and sisterhood that I spoke about today is the biggest form of leadership. When I grow alone, probably I'm succeeding. When I grow together, I'm creating a legacy. And India is known to create legacies. As a Rotarian, I want each one of you to create legacies, and I'm sure that's what you're doing as Rotarians today, because you're not coming here and creating these funds to solve one problem. You're coming together as a community who will be remembered for tomorrow to leave a legacy, and that's the legacy that we want to build for our nation. At the end, I just want to say that there are two most powerful things in the world. The two powerful warriors are probably patience and gratitude. Patience to wait for the right opportunity, and gratitude to say, I'm thankful to what I have. When you have the gratitude, you are a better person. When you have the gratitude, you probably listen more. When you have the gratitude, you do better. And gratitude, responsibility is something that we can't move away with, and it's something that all of us have. And there are 3 C's that are very important in life: choices, chances, changes. If you don't make a choice today, you will not get a chance tomorrow. And if you don't take that chance tomorrow, you will not be able to create that change. So as proud Rotarians, I want you to make the right choices. I want you to create the right chances, for not just for yourself, for the people around you, so that we bring a movement of change that will change our country tomorrow. And ivattu you might have seen a list of good resumes of achievements that I have done, but if I start telling you the failures that I have gone through in the last 9 years, whether it's failing to run a school, whether it's hiring the wrong person, whether it's standing probably one day to nervously not deliver what I had to deliver, the list is going to be bigger, and I'm prouder more of my failures than my successes, which is why I stand here today, is what I want you to say. And failure, I believe, is the first step for learning. ನಾನು ಅವತ್ತು ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ನ ಫೇಲ್ ಆಗಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ನಾನು ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್ನ ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ ಆಗಿ ತಗೋತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅನಿಸುತ್ತೆ. ನನಗೆ ಜನ, ನೀನು ಡಿ ಕೆ ಶಿವಕುಮಾರ್ ಮಗಳು, ನೀನೇನು ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ದಿವಸ ಹೇಳಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ನಾನು ಇವತ್ತು ಈ ಮೈಕ್ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಅನಿಸುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕ್ರಿಟಿಸಿಸಮ್ ದಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಬ್ರಾಟ್ ಮೀ ಟು ವೇರ್ ಐ ಆಮ್. ಐ ಬಿಲೀವ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಪ್ರಿವಿಲೇಜ್. ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಏನಾದರೂ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಮಗೆ ಅನಿಸೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. So if you have the pressure of money, you want to earn better. If you have the pressure of fear, you want to overcome it. If you have the pressure of not able to say what you feel, you want to do it one day. So if you have pressure in your life, feel privileged about it, and that's the learning that I've had in the 9 years journey. I want to take some questions. If any of you have, sir is already ready, but thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. Yes, sir. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ನೀವು ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀರ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾಳೆ ಅಂತ. ನೀವು ನನ್ನ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ, ಟೀಚರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ನಾನು. ಕೇಳಿಸುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್, ಹೇಳಿ ಹೋಗ್ಲಿ. ಬರ್ಕೊಂಬಂದಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಸರ್?
ಸರ್
ಈಗಲೇ ನನಗೆ ಮರ್ತು ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ಕಿನ್ನು ಇಟ್ಟಿದೆ.
ಓಕೆ.
ಎದ್ದು ನಿಲ್ಲುವಾಗ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೆದರಿಕೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಡಿ ಕೆ ಶಿವಕುಮಾರ್ ಅವರ ಮಗಳ. ನೈಸ್ ಹಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಯು
ಸರ್. ಐಶ್ವರ್ಯಾಗ್ ನೈಸ್ ಹಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಯು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಖುಷಿ ಆಗ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಡಿ ಕೆ ಶಿವಕುಮಾರ್ ಮಗಳಾಗಿ ನೈಸ್ ಹಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಯು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ನಾನು ಇವತ್ತು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿರೋದೇ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಇವತ್ತು ಡೋರಿಂದ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ, ಡಿ ಕೆ ಶಿವಕುಮಾರ್ ಬಿಡಪ್ಪ, ಐಶ್ವರ್ಯ ನಾವು ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ವಿ ಇವತ್ತು, ನಾಳೆ ದಿವಸ ಅವ್ರು ಬರ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಐಶ್ವರ್ಯನ್ ತಂದೆ ಅಂತ ನೀವು ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಇಷ್ಟು ಕಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ವಾಪಸ್ ಡಿ ಕೆ ಶಿವಕುಮಾರ್ ಮಗಳಂತಿದ್ದೀರಲ್ಲ.
ಅಲ್ಲ, ನೀವು ಕನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡಿಂಗ್ ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ, ಕನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡಿಂಗ್ ನಮಗೆ ತಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಹಿಡಿತದೆ. ನಾನು ಡಿ ಕೆ ಶಿವಕುಮಾರ್ ಮಗಳಂತೇಳಿ ಅದರೊಂದು 2-3 ಸಲ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ.
ಇಲ್ಲ, ಒಂದೇ ಸತಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ ನಾನು.
ಹೌದಾ? ಆಗಲಿ. ಮೈ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಗೋಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್. Orchi. See, please offer your remarks. Some of the wisest people have no education. I am telling one or two, three. Some of the wisest people I have seen, I am now 75 completed, I am 76 now. So in my life, I have seen some of the wisest people have no education. It is quite whatever you have told, so I am contesting that. This is one point.
I don't think you're contesting that. I'll answer this. I'll take the question. Don't worry.
One or two I am adding here just for your information. Some of the most beautiful people wear no makeup at all. Okay, you can hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah. Some of the happiest people are the ones with the least amount of material possessions. Okay. They are the happiest people I have seen. And they are generous also. That they need not have any material possessions, but they are happiest.
Right.
Yeah. One last point I wanted to add.
No, we'll answer it.
Thank you for that question.
Okay,
sir.
let me answer.
Yeah, please answer. I'm hearing you.
First, I didn't contest you. We are on the same page. I never said education is degree and marks. I said education is clarity of thought.
Exactly.
I said education is confidence in voice. I said education is the courage to make a change.
Very good, very good.
So I didn't even speak about marks or degrees. I don't think I stand here because of degree or marks. You nan entire introduction kelidre, I never said I'm an engineer. I never said I'm a pass out. I'm not an MBA student and speaker to stand here and run these educations. I am the biggest example of how education has been my life skills at home and the society I've come from, and not just the degrees and the marks that I'm a part of. That's the first thing that I want you to define education as. Education is only taking ownership of your learning. ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಬದುಕು ಕಲಿಸುತ್ತೆ, ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಕಲಿಸ್ತಾರೆ, ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಪುಸ್ತಕಗಳು ಕಲಿಸುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಕಲ್ತಿರೋದನ್ನ ನಮಗೆ ನಾವು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊತೀವಿ, ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಹೆಂಗೆ ವಿಸ್ಡಮ್ ಆಗಿ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್ ಫಾರ್ ಮೀ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಐಮ್ ಟ್ರೈಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಮೇಕ್ ಶ್ಯೂರ್ ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್, ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್, ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ ಮೇಕಪ್ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇದ್ರೂ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ. ಹೌದು ಸರ್, ಯು ಪುಟ್ ಆನ್ ಮೇಕಪ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಫಿಯರ್ of feeling bad or someone judging you. I go back to what I said. So it's okay to put makeup. Why shouldn't you not put in an effort? Adu ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ತಾನೇ ನಮಗೆ ನಾವು ಎಲಿವೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕ್ಕೆ. I told you empowerment is helping ourselves and putting in that effort. If God has given you few things, that's one strength. but God also has some weaknesses in your life. How do you change those weaknesses to strengths? If we are not able to change and identify our weakness to strengths, then where is progress? So
Thank you, ma'am.
if you have to put yourself into something else, I think it makes a difference. So why not? And let me tell you, ಸೇತುರಾಮ್ ಸರ್ ಅವರು ಮಾತಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ಸೇಯಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಒಬ್ರನ್ನ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಜನ ಮಾತುವರೆಗೂ ಕೇಳಲ್ಲ, ನೋಡ್ತಾನೆ ಒಂದು ಇಂಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಆ ಇಂಪ್ರೆಷನ್ನ ನಾವು ಎಷ್ಟು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ಎಫರ್ಟ್. ನಾವು ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಎದ್ದು ಬೇಗ ರೆಡಿಯಾಗಿ ಮೇಕಪ್ ಹಾಕ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೇ ಆ ಎಫರ್ಟ್ ಕಾಣಿಸಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧೋದು. ಹುಡುಗರಿಗೆ ಟೈ ಹಾಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಎಫರ್ಟ್ ಕಾಣಿಸುತ್ತೆ, ಹುಡುಗಿರಿಗೆ ತಲೆ ಬಾಚ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕಾಣಿಸುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಪುಟ್ ಎನ್ ಎಫರ್ಟ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಫರ್ಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ವೈ ನಾಟ್ ಪುಟ್ ದಿ ಎಫರ್ಟ್? ದಟ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಐ ಟೀಚ್ ಮೈ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್. I hope I've answered both your questions.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for this inspiring address. Your message on education.
Anyone else? Can I take 2 more questions if you don't mind?
Sorry, ma'am, we are running out of time. If you don't mind, won't be taking any more questions. Sorry, very sorry. We are running
Give
short
me 2
of
more,
time.
no, please. I know I'm late.
Doctor.
ನಾನು ಗೊತ್ತು ನಾನು ಲೇಟಾಗಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂತ. Oh, their flight, which is why I won't be able to. But lovely meeting all of you.
Thanks for the consideration. Thank you so much.
ವೆರಿ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಟು ಮೈ ಹಾರ್ಟ್. ನಾನು ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೈ ಟೈಮ್ ನಾನು ಮೈಸೂರಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಪೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಜ್ಜಿ ಮನೆ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಮೈಸೂರಲ್ಲೇ ಇರೋದು. ಸೊ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಫಾರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಆಪರ್ಚುನಿಟಿ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಫಾರ್ ಇನ್ವೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಮೀ ಟು ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್.
Our pleasure, ma'am.
Thank you to
Thank you
every
so
woman
much.
here. Be
Big round
beautiful,
of
be
applause.
bold, be the sisterhood you can. Thank you.